Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about the right hand basical techniques. And actually my personal relationship with the right hand technique is just terribly hard because I play the guitar already 10 years and 8 years from these 10 I had always fight with my right hand, and I had always difficulties with my right hand technique. I had so much tension. I was doing everything that one could do false. I was doing that. It was just almost anything right I was doing, and so I think I am the right person to talk about solving these problems, because I had all problems one could have with the right hand. I think I had. So let's start. Yes, as I said, I was always doing so many calculations about my right hand. I was always sitting behind the mirror. I was looking at different angles from here, from there, from I don't know. Now it still didn't work. And then I also tried all kinds of nails, of contact points, of angles, like this, like that, like this, like this, and I was playing with the long nails, I was playing with short nails, with plastic nails, with different shapes, and yes, so I think I've tried everything possible, maybe. But everything has changed when I met my teacher and my professor here in Germany, and they taught me some technique, this kind of great technique when you feel you are free with your hand, when you feel you can control your hand. And I had to change everything. That was like studying the guitar from the very beginning. That is terrible, and I wish I hope that I can share now this knowledge with you, and some people maybe will not do this way that I had to do, and that would be really great if one could start directly with this technique, if one could learn the guitar directly with this technique. Let's start. Well, the very first thing is just how we sit with the guitar. When you just take the guitar, like you sit like normal, and it must be as close as possible to your body. Yeah, maybe, yes, like try to hold your back straight, and maybe just a bit forward, and then you are there. You should not do like this, like turn the guitar to your side. Also, you should not be too much like this. So, but it is always better to see less, but maybe to see less here from your side, but to let the guitar be directed to like forward, to straight. Okay, now let's talk about the position of the elbow towards the shell, because that is so important. And unfortunately I realized that only 2 years ago, but I really think that the problem of my technique was that my elbow was a bit too much to that side, too backwards, and not enough here, because somehow this point of contact should be not somewhere in the middle of your hand, but a bit lower, a bit to this side, and it gives you then look like, compare like this you play, or like this. You have then tension here, you have tension here, and well, that's I think how it felt to me. Yes, and then if you play like this, if you play like this with your elbow here absolutely free, and also important to say, you should feel the weight of your elbow. You should feel like your hand is dead, like it falls on your guitar, it sleeps on your guitar. It's not like, and of course here is also everything is free. Yes, I think it is important. Now let's talk about how high should be the wrist above the deck. That is also a great problem I had. that my wrist, and even now I can notice somehow I do a bit too low, and then the sound gets like, I don't know, a bit too dry somehow, too dry, and it can't be round and warm if I play with this low wrist. Yeah, so how high should it be? You should imagine, I like the comparison of Rafael Aguirre once he gave the master class on the one Ukrainian festival in Kiev, and he said, imagine this part of hand is a landing plane. Landing plane, you know, it goes always like to down, like this to the floor, like this. Yes, not like this, but just like this part of hand is the nose of the plane, you can say, yeah. And so you just take this and just leave it like this. I will add a little video here so you can see then how high should it be from my point of seeing. One more thing, playing through the different strings and changing right hand positions here, you should not move your elbow here. Just like this part of hand, it stays always in the same place. You only move your fingers, and maybe a bit something changes here in your wrist. For example, if you play like here, it's a bit like to the up, but still here is everything is calm. You just leave it like it is, just don't move. It's here like with the glue, you know. Like, okay, you are free, but still just avoid extra movements. Okay, now let's talk about the natural position of your fingers on the strings. Of course, you know how we say our finger B, I, M, A, and so the natural thing, the most natural thing you can do is to put your thumb on the 6th or 5th string, and then these three, they go on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, like this. Maybe I will do like this. Okay, now you can see better, and you can see my hand here is like having inside the hand some kind of round stuff, some apple, maybe some, if you have some one little ball, you can try to put it inside your hand and to put your fingers on the strings. So it should be like round. I will show you in another video from my point of sight. And you can see the thumb. It should be like my teacher explained to me that thumb always wants to kiss the index finger, the eye finger, always in this place. And yes, so on the strings it is also like this, so it is close to index finger somehow. And then yeah, just like this. And that is actually a very personal thing. Many people play like this, like I don't know, like somehow like this also. Yeah, anyway, to my mind, one should try different approaches and then just choose how it feels better to you. How do you like when it sounds? How somehow just adapt it to your taste and to your heart. Actually, talking about the natural position of the fingers on the strings, it is also very important to talk about the point of contact, actually, yeah, because if you don't know where is the right place of the contact with the strings on your fingers, it is hard to find this natural position. I was always searching for this point of contact, and this was already something for me very irritating and some mystical thing. Where is this point of contact? But well, where that You should just find the most comfortable place for you of the right side of your finger to play the string, and then just decide once and apply it to every finger. The point of contact must be just exactly the same for every finger. For this, for I, M, A, it's just completely the same. And any difference will affect your sound, affect your tone, and just, yeah, you don't need this. And always try to produce the same tone with different fingers. Like it should be the same tone. For example, if you play the E string with the I finger first, it's like this, and then you play with the A, it's the same, and then you play with the A, it's the same, because the point of contact is the same, so it's automatically sound the same. This you can also apply for apoiando, for the wrist stroke, because it is also important. The sound of wrist stroke must be the same like your free stroke. It is hard to do, and one should practice, but just try. And the point of contact is the same. You should apply it to any way you play. It must sound the same. Maybe, like David Russell says, that apoiando is some kind of luxury, like some really special thing. But your tone must be not your tone of tirando, of the free stroke, must not be much weaker than the wrist stroke. That is very important, and the right point of contact helps in this. Now more about this movement of your hand when you want to play, for example, this one chord on the open strings, these three and one bass. So altogether, this movement must be, once again, like always what we are doing here, the most natural you can. It must be like grasping movement, sweeping movement. You should close your hand in a fist, or you should always try to close your hand, like that is very natural. Like this is the most natural movement we can do, like, yes, like this. So when you play this chord on the open strings and your fingertips go just inside of your palm, just in middle of your palm, just close like this, like this. Yes. So it's not always obligatory to close just too much, just till the end to touch the palm, but no, just feel this direction, just like this. Thumb kisses this part of the of your eye finger. This finger movement comes actually from the middle of your palm, or from here, one can also say, but of course in general it comes from the whole hand, because you can also feel it here, or there, or you can always feel it, but just avoid it to be from here. Avoid the movement to be only from here. It must not be like this, only this, but just maybe more like from here. Just the complete, you feel the whole finger, not only one part of it. Yeah, like these little parts. Yeah. Just also your thumb. That's problem I have also now, is just that my thumb moves sometimes like this. That is, yeah, not so natural. That is the problem of mentally regulation. Yeah, because I must think that the movement comes from here more, not from here. But yeah, that's what I'm working with now. When you play this chord, your fingers are totally relaxed, and think about the direction of your movement. And what is very important is the speed of the movement, because actually we produce the sound mixing together speed and the distance. Distance is, yeah, how far your finger goes inside your palm. Because if you want to play loud, you will do more distance and you will do it faster. You will do like this. If you want to play piano, you will do very tiny movement maybe. You will not do like this. Or you can do big distance but with a little speed, not so fast. And piano is like this. Little distance, little speed. Forte is like this. And so you just can draw the parallels. I could say also that speed is important and not the strength of your finger. Yeah, you shouldn't avoid any strength. You should not do some force, or it should not be some tensed movement. It should be very relaxed, very light fingers, but fast and like with this distance, yeah, and direction and point of contact. Now you have the receipt of beautiful sound. And beautiful sound, that's because the most important guy who is regulating our sound, how beautiful it is this guy. This is our ear. And that's just maybe the only thing one could say, because everything comes from there, and from feeling and from noticing and working on that and willing to get this beautiful sound. Just imagine this sound how you want it to be. Everything starts from imagination, and try to reach this. And then now let's talk about this thumb. The principle of movement of the thumb is that it falls down to the floor, or how I said already, the direction of the eye finger. So it always goes here, like closing once again. And feel this point of contact. It must be the same like for these fingers, yeah? The same part of the fingertip. Avoid too much nail, just, or once again, just listen how it sounds, yeah? And very relaxed as it falls on the floor. Now let's talk more about the rest stroke, about the apoyando. As I said, it's the same point of contact like when you play the tirando, and the finger just falls dead on the string, on the next string. Just very relaxed. It's just like this. This is the string, this is your finger, and then just like that. Totally relaxed. Also, apoyando, my professor told me it's something like a bicycle, you know. You just should feel completely relaxed with your finger, and any tension from here, it's just rest stroke. It's resting, yeah, it's totally free. Okay, let's talk about the thumb preparation. The very important aspect of technique of the right hand that I'm using, it's different kind of preparations. We can prepare, for example, the thumb and the A finger here on the first string. But let's talk about the thumbs first of all. And why we do that? Because that provide us the hand stability and helps us to stop the false resonance. Sometimes you can play a chord and you hear strings that are not necessary to us to be there, in this chord, they sound, because guitar is this resonancing instrument, and we should stop these resonances by putting the thumb there, or putting the thumb here. For example, on the fourth string, we can we can block already the fifth and sixth string, so it helps. Or even here, we can block with this part. With this part, we can block already the three strings here, the fourth, fifth, and sixth. When should you do this? You should do this literally always. You should try always to put your thumb on here, on the fifth or sixth string, when you're playing here some arpeggio, something, some chords. It is very important to have your thumb here. It must always rest on the string, otherwise there's just too much tension and no security. Only like this you can control the sound quality and the speed of retracting fingers. Now I can show you some arpeggios, and you can notice how I put my thumb there and there sometimes to help me to protect my hand from tension and to give it more security. Yeah? Or one more thing is that before you play a new bass note, you can prepare the right hand before you play. When the next note comes, you can put finger anticipating the note. Now about on which strings should you put your thumb when you play, and yes, depending on how you play. By tirando, the thumb is always one string after finger which plays tirando, like this. Playing apoyando, thumb must be on the fourth or fifth or sixth string. Or just like this. Now about the ring finger preparation. When should you do this? If you are playing tirando chords or melodic, on the second or third string, you can put the A on the first string, like you do here. Or you see, it's always here. Or if you have here some melody. Also, if you play P-I, P-I, you can also put the A on the first string, or also actually on the second and third, like if you have here. Or just like this. Preparation of the A finger gives you also more beautiful quality of sound and control of the movements of the right hand. I hope so much that it is helpful. And as a little bonus, I can just tell you about the mistakes I'm still doing with my right hand. And I'm working hard on it still. And to me, the hardest things are the point of contact, the same for every finger. I still play sometimes with a different point of contact. Like sometimes I play fast and I can't notice I can control, or I wasn't practicing this enough hard to play it and not think about it then. But I still work on it and I practice it. Once again, one more mistake I do is sometimes my wrist goes a bit too low and my sound gets a bit too dry or too not so deep, you know. Also, sometimes I'm a bit lost with this direction and sometimes I go like this instead of going a bit more inside. Oh, what else? Yes, sometimes I can't notice if my nails are in some strange shape, and or I just don't care sometimes enough about it, and then my sound gets also not better. Next video I'm going to show you the exercises you can practice. They include all things I was talking about, and by practicing this exercise you can improve and keep the stability and the main principles of what I was talking about. So thank you for watching this, and see you in my next video about the left hand basics.